Okay, so we are here with the semi-finals. BAMSER waiting patiently for homeplate to come and play him. BAMSER going for the classic free desert lineup with the red. Sometimes it changes to Karasis or something, but we'll see. Okay, Ban's coming out very quickly. We are very confident what we don't want to play against. BAMSER doesn't want to play against red, as well as homeplate. So we should be able to see this Crackthorn deck coming out from homeplate, hopefully, if he doesn't sweep him. So BAMSER looks like he wants to go for his, seemingly looks like the My Merchant deck. Yeah, the Husk. Very cheap land cost here. Sorry, very cheap Farrier cost here. I mean, cheap land cost as well. I mean, the most expensive thing here, I think, is the. Oh, I think it's the Oath to Oblivion. Actually, I think that's 6 deserts. That's quite expensive, actually. But in Farrier cost is pretty cheap. I'm going to adjust my monitor. I'm standing up now, guys, because I don't want to sit down for this for too. I don't want to sit down too long. So. Let's see if I can adjust this a bit more. Okay. Right, so yeah, wow. Very fast start. The BAMSER going, homeplate going off for one desert, BAMSER immediately replying. These guys are set. These guys know exactly what to do. Ooh, double Wrangler. He's very eager to get that double collection going. I think he understands that homeplate is going to play some sort of rush tempo thing, so he wants to get stuff out very quickly, possibly even to block his face with. Soul Drain gets copied, and Mistral Guide comes down. So BAMSER is, I think he's pretty comfortable. He wants to reply immediately with the last nightmare, but little does he know that there is another Mistral Guide coming out, and he is able to play. Yeah, not very happy about that. I think he's pretty upset that he has a second Mistral Guide. It's what you call preparation. Wind Soldier coming out here, not to hit face, but to trade. Okay, so homeplate needs to find some cards because he got 2 Kalim's prayers, but he's got nothing to hit face with. So I was expecting him to just hit face with that Wind Soldier to try and draw for another answer. BAMSER here not looking very good with the cards. Haunted Husk, Oblivion with no target. Homeplate manages to find a follower, so that's pretty convenient for him. He will be able to prayer and wrangle it as well. Meanwhile, BAMSER. Whoa, that is a very quick defeat. I think that's the quickest we've seen BAMSER. That's the quickest BAMSER game I've seen. He did not want to deal with that, so he's going straight onto the second game here. Okay, so BAMSER going for the yellow, yeah, his own yellow rush. So this is Rush versus Rush. Who gets the first Mistral guy? This is pretty polarizing. Luckily, they both get Mistral Guide. I think BAMSER's setup is slightly better since he's able to use Follower and Prayer on the same turn as playing Mistral Guide. Homeplate does have the Last Nightmare to get rid of the Mistral Guide, but the Follower should be on board by that time, so... Okay, so Homeplate, he's getting the Mistral Guide out first, but he does not have Prayer. BAMSER also got the Last Nightmare. Yeah, I think he wants to play the Mistral Guide out himself. Does have enough area to Last Nightmare, so it is something that he can do. Exploring aggressively is also great. Just allows him to not rely on it on the Mistral Guide. Demon Wrangler also to get out a Demon Wing to face and clearing that Mistral Guide here. But Homeplate does have the Soul Drain, so maybe it's not really something he wants to do right now, but he's not expecting it, so he doesn't really need to play around it either. Decides not to play the Last Nightmare. Okay, that's interesting. He was afraid, like the last game, where he had a second Mistral Guide ready. I mean, he did just draw it, so I guess it was the right decision. Homeplate here could easily just Soul Drain this Demon Wing, but then he doesn't really have much else to go to do from there, you know. Wandering Monk can come out, but there's no prayer. It doesn't really leaves the monk quite vulnerable. There's two Mistral Guides at his face, so he can easily deal with any kind of small creature. Homeplate throws at BAMSER. Okay, goes for the Soul Drain. He uses the monk to clear the double collecting demon wrangler. Second Mistral Guide coming out. I mean, if he does that, BAMSER does have the Last Nightmare for it, so it's up to him. Oh, on the neutral. Okay, so again with the Wind Soldier Demon Wrangler combination. Just seeing. Goes for the trade. Does he play the Wind Soldier or does he Last Nightmare? He also needs to collect with this Mistral Guide here. He doesn't want to miss the collection here. It's quite crucial. He needs to collect with the Wind Soldier, so he needs to dash this over here and collect. Okay, decides to double collect with the Wind Soldier and then Demon Wing to block the collection. I feel like he should have just hit face and transformed it. It forces Homeplate to not collect if he wants to clear it. I mean, this plays into Soul Drain a little bit more as well, so Homeplate just responding with his Kaleem's follower. Going for a prayer as well, so it's discounting the Colossus a little bit. Does have a Wind Soldier, but not really much. I don't think he wants to play it just now. I don't know. Maybe he can use it to clear the Demon Wing. I think he probably has to do it to clear the Demon Wing actually. Okay. So I think maybe he needs to clear the follower with the Wrangler, yeah, and collect with the Mistral Guide here. Last Nightmare could be an option. I think he needs to he needs to hold that for the Colossus though. He needs to hold it for the Colossus. Okay. I mean it's not horrible. Just so that he can't get the anything out to collect. Homeplate responding with his own Last Nightmare as well, so really hating these Mistral Guides here. But BAMSER coming out with the third Mistral Guide, so he's the one who's got the Mistral Guide advantage right now. Homeplate. Kind of struggling to find some sort of opening here. Flash Salmon is coming out just to trade with that Demon Wrangler. Stop the collection there. But BAMSER not only has the card advantage, but has the ferry advantage as well with the Soul Pact. He could smile. Okay, decides to put the follower into collection here. And I guess he has the Flash Salmon to hit face. It's not that much. Does get a draw out of it though, so he is keeping up his hand. Homeplate really struggling to get this Colossus out. Doesn't have any other cards to any other events to discount it. Has the prayer, but no way of hitting face. So in a bit of trouble now. I think he has to wait one turn and try and pull something out of the bag later. He needs to find his third Mistral Guide. Could be the bottom 5 cards, so like it's not something he can like rely on, but with his current hand he doesn't really have anything either. BAMSER also quite frustrated about his hand as well. Doesn't really have any beefy creatures to stay at face. He just has the Wind Soldier and the Flash Salmon. I think he's looking for his demon here. Soul Drain going onto the follower, and then yeah, Colossus coming down. But BAMSER is prepared for it. Or he's double prepared for it actually. So the Last Nightmare can come down and it can follow with his own Colossus. Isn't that great? Isn't that convenient for him? Yeah, so Home plate now needs to start playing slightly defensively. He does have his own Colossus. BAMSER has a second Last Nightmare he doesn't know about. Should be expecting it though. He does have 7 cards in his hand. He's only played 1. He's only played 2 now, so it's very possible that the second Last Nightmare is there. BAMSER obviously gonna go for the prayer and then his third Nightmare. Does he want to double? Yeah, I think he. I mean, he can double collect with his Mistral Guide. It's not going to put him out of position too much. And yeah, I think he's got the. He wants to play the Demon Wrangler down just so that he can block face for any like double monk shenanigans. But I don't think anything really is coming out as a threat for BAMSER. I mean, we have a follower here, but it's not going to be doing much. Prayer into monk, yeah. Again, nothing too threatening. I mean, the Colossus is the only thing that is really going to get BAMSER down to low. I mean, homeplate does have the Last Nightmare now, so next turn this Colossus can go away, but is it going to be enough? Third Colossus found. 2 Wind Soldiers in hand as well. I mean, that's the end of the game, right? This is lethal if he finds the answer. BAMSER winning game 2. So winning with his own rush, I think it was slightly different. He was carrying the soul packs, whereas homeplate is carrying the barter. But apart from that, it was pretty much a 1-for-1 deck. So what is homeplate going to carry right now? I think the Crack Fawn is going to be the deck against Rush. Or it could just be a Salamander deck. Either way, it should be the one to counter the Rush. Okay, so not a bad start actually. I mean, the Feed the Forest high land cost, but you do kind of want it as soon as turn 5 rolls around. So it's useful to. It's better to have it in your hand than not. We have the Wood Elemental and Living Willow as well, so we're kind of okay with early collectors. We're just worried about having. We need to like get out the free mountains as soon as possible because we have a lot of 1-cost creatures here, in terms of the Kaleem's Follower and the Ornament Monk. So homeplate does want to have the Ground Shaker accessible as soon as possible, but he does want to set up the collection first. So Wood Elemental into Living Willow, so the double collection can happen. So yeah, the 2 tone's going to be really tricky for BAMSER to play around. Also, they're pretty low cost, so they don't want to really. He doesn't really want to last nightmare these. Yeah, can't really play flash salmon at the moment. Yeah. Ooh, this is really messing up his turn 3. Is he gonna double soul drain that? I would wait until you have Kaleem's Prayer. There's no need to double soul drain that now. Okay, goes for it now. I mean, you have to flash salmon. You have to flash salmon here to get that draw. It's just such a like if you're not running the charger, then playing and he finds it from the salmon. Yeah, if he just waited one turn, I mean, like, is you can talk about like hindsight, right? But even if you didn't know that the Clean's Pro is coming out, I would have also waited a turn. Now he has absolutely nothing. Now he has no soul drain. Oh, and he finds the salmon as well, so he could have done it anyway. He has no soul drain. So like, there's almost nothing he can do right now apart from play the Colossus. He has to play the Colossus in order to deal with these creatures, because nothing's going to cut it. Like, maybe the Demon Wing, if he finds a Wrangler. Okay, so Homeplate has made an opening for him now, unless he moves the Willow back, which he should do. Yeah. And all the BAMSER can do is last Nightmare this Willow, which is going to be a huge Farrier loss for him. It's going to have to happen, but he has a Mistral Guide. He could trade Mistral Guide with it. That's huge, and that's huge for Homeplay because he knows that a Nightmare is being used. He can happily Emerald Salamander like next turn. So I mean, the Salamander can come out now. It's not not the best value, but I mean, the Reveler can be put down. You can make it like a mountain here. Put the Reveler on there and Salamander. Actually, that's pretty decent. I think that's what you want to do. The Mistral Guy will be 4-2, so you can trade with the Salamander, and the Wood Elemental will get buffed to a nice, healthy 4-6. So that's definitely going to be able to tank a lot of stuff from BAMSER's deck. That's double Wind Soldier. That's I mean, the Wood Elemental already defends the double Wind Soldier, but getting the attack on the Reveler is also a huge swing in Farrier for him. Decides to place just a Ground Shaker down. I'm not sure if that really does it, to be honest. I mean, alternatively, he could have placed the Salamander and Reveler here, Reveler then Salamander, and then blocked the face from the Mistral Guide. Oh, getting his third Mistral Guide out just so he can tempo out the game a little bit. This is pretty huge for home plate. There's a big crowd gathering, and the Salamander's ready to put on a show. So a lot of options for home plate right now. Salamander in the center. Or, I mean, if he Salamanders at the left well, he's going to have to make a land for it. He's already at 7 lands, so probably doesn't want to make any more at the moment. Drawing could be an option here. I think drawing is fine. Okay. Living Willow's a great card here. Yeah. I mean, Living Willow into the Salamander is also great if he wants to +1 Pharaoh on the will. But it does mean that he can't play the Reveler. So, it's a bit unfortunate. Oh, he plays the Willow center. And then feeds it. He's got to feed it now. If that's what you were doing, you got to feed it now. Feeds the wood elemental? I mean, this does clear. Honestly, turned out better than I expected it to. Oh, the left side though, the Wrangler being able to clear this Shaker is not great. But I don't think BAMSER has anything to really deal with this huge Willow. This Willow is staying for a few turns at least. Speaking of Willow, another Willow gets drawn by home plate. Reveler going onto the left side to collect. Doesn't even need to play it now. We have the second Willow coming down. I mean, at this point, I think it's pretty much over. We don't have... Even if BAMSER is on like 20 Feria, right? He's only got 2 Last Nightmares in deck. He still has the Colossuses, but it's going to be tricky to kind of make some space for BAMSER to play these Colossuses right now. Has he played enough spells to discount it to 5 Feria? Oh. I need to go to the kitchen and boil some water because this cold water is too cold to drink right now. Oh. So it's the coldest winter in the UK for a long time. -20 in some places. Right, Ground Shaker coming down. Yeah. There's nothing else to say. I mean, the two last nightmares are coming out. He makes some space, but there's still going to be some taunt out there. It's not going to be enough for BAMSER to bring it back. I think he wants to keep the last nightmare until he has a line for the Wind Soldier. Could be possible. If homeplate's anticipating this, he's going to move his creatures more towards his face. Oh, he's gonna make a beeline with the Crackform Beast. He's gonna beeline it. Go on. Oh, it doesn't quite kill the Mistral Guide either. But oh, that's awkward now because now the Mistral Guide's still alive. He can trade with the Crackform, so he decides to play it back anyway. Garadan is still an option here. Eventually, after 2 turns. BAMSER though needs to find some sort of opening. Got 18 Farrier. Only 8 cards are left in the deck though. Okay, so 2 Last Nightmare, 2 Colossus. What is he going to do? Well, I think it's probably going to have to be Last Nightmare, the 5/6, and then play Colossus. I mean, it's still going to be able to be. It's still going to be double traded anyway, so it's pretty difficult to actually play the Colossus anywhere that's kind of relevant. In that case, he's going to have to put it onto the side here. Decides to dash it directly, like, in front. Along with the second one as well. Okay. Tephra is quite juicy. Unfortunately, there's nothing at face to threaten him. Homeplay is playing properly, so he needs to just be very patient and wait for a good opportunity to take the aggression. And honestly, he doesn't actually have to, because by the time BAMSER gets to 0 cards, I mean, yeah, Homeplate's like still got 10 more cards in his deck. He could fatigue him really. There's no need for BAMSER for Homeplate to attack face. Okay, we've got a Soul Drain. The Colossus is not really in a position to attack though. Even if you do Soul Drain this 4/2, and then like Last Nightmare something else, there's no movement in the deck to get this Colossus there. But he does draw the 3rd Colossus, so we could. Oh, he's already collected with it. So I was gonna say we could see something here where he Last Nightmares and then gets to the face. But then we still have this Reveler, we still have the 2nd Willow. And right now we have the Tephra ready to pounce. I mean, Tephra putting the Crackthorn at 5, going to be putting it at 7/10. So he's going to clear one of the Colossus very easily. This Reveler collecting here, not willing to join the battle. Yeah, Okay, Tephra coming out. Yeah, onto the salamander. Clear this Colossus here. This guy doesn't need to be here. Does he seek shelter? Does he want to see if he can find a taunt to play next turn? Or will he wait? Decides to wait on that. Yeah, BAMSER still not looking good here. The options are running thin. His deck is running thin as well. Getting a bit desperate now. Wind Soldier does clear this Cragthorn, or this Salamander. And then he can value trade the Tephra here. So it's not all bad. Demon Wrangler coming out. Is he gonna Demon Wrangler the... Oh, okay, he goes for the draw first. Tries to see if he can find some sort of win. I mean, there is a Wind Soldier line here, but I don't know if he wants to play. He doesn't play it. He does have Prayer though, so... Although Prayer now kind of puts him in a more desperate situation to finish the game as quickly as possible. Might not even want to play it. Okay, second Salamander coming out, clearing this Colossus, making the Willow even stronger, making it even harder for BAMSER to find an opening. He's only on he's still on 14 health. It's not like he's only got 1 health left, and he just needs to find that single opening for this Wind Soldier. He has so much to go through. What is he gonna do? I mean, it's a great last nightmare target now, really. He should be just trying to save up the ferry just for that last nightmare onto the Willow. Try and sneak in the Wind Soldier there, but even then, he's still got the Salamander to deal with. There's still 2 Seek Shelters in his hand, so yeah, BAMSER knows that there's another taunt coming up. Yeah, so the second Living Willow, I mean, I don't know how many Living Willows it is now because he's gotten so many from Seek Shelter. And that is going to be a defeat for BAMSER. So we are on the final game. Oh, not final game, sorry, the 4th game. We have BAMSER's tempo deck, yellow tempo against the Cragthorn. This could be pretty even, depending on how the draws go, depending on what comes out first. Vulture. I mean, you feel like Vulture is going to be a very situational card, but it comes there's a lot more options. A lot more options here than you realize. Although it's going to be a lot more difficult now that, especially against a Cragthorn deck where there's a lot of HP buffs, a lot of creatures that kind of break their traditional health expectations from the Seek Shelter. But we'll see. I think I like it when BAMSER plays this deck. I think he's the most interesting when he does play this deck. So Homeplate coming out with the very standard Reveler opening. Just getting that guy out to collect. Doesn't matter if he dies, he's only one cost anyway. And then on the other side is the classic Willow that BAMSER has been struggling with in the previous game. Could be a lot easier now. He has the emissaries. He's going to be doing some damage now with his cards, as opposed from before where he only had like 2 or 3 damage coming out. Second Mistral guy going aggressive. He wants to get rid of this Reveler before it gets buffed by either the Salamander or even like a Ruinous Guidance. So yeah, nip that right in the bud before it becomes a problem. Now, where does he want to place this 4th desert? Center is kind of nice. It puts a lot of aggression, but I think on C4 could allow him to deny, like walk over sublands here, deny him from summoning. I also like B3 here, so it allows the Mistral guy to just stay at the collection spot without having to move around, but doesn't have the same kind of reach. He's got to make his lad. Does have Soul Drain, but I don't think he wants to Soul Drain. I think it's better actually to trade with the Mistral Guide. I think he can kind of skip one collection to save the drain for something else that's more out of reach. Okay. What have I missed? Right, Ground Shaker coming down and the Salamander just to clear this Mistral Guide. Very nice. So does get cleared though. Can be cleared, which is not. It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, and this is where the the vermin comes in. So he actually decides to not clear and use the Soul Drain, and that gives the sorry, not the Baron Sky, not the vermin, the vulture. Gives him the vulture at 7 attack, just enough attack to kill this Willow in one shot. So yeah, that's this vulture is more versatile than you think. I'm telling you. So Crackthorn Beast coming out. Does this clear anything here? Fortunately not. Doesn't even buff. Oh, but it does buff the Willow so that he can trade with this Vulture. So this is kind of it's pretty good for him. Can clear, but does he want to get rid of his Mistral Guide? He does have a second Mistral Guide coming out now, so he is able to do this trade and play Mistral Guide plus Manta. Does leave him a little bit behind on cards, but home plate is only running 3 cards as well. Evolved Blowfly is gonna be able to trade. Yeah. Oh, does have Demon coming out now, so is able to like put some pressure without making it as expensive. Does he want to go on the left side though? Or does he want to like kind of crush right side? It's kind of difficult to say because like if you have the Salamander, if he has a Salamander in hand, it's not really good to go on the right side. But he does want to. He does want to if there's no reaction from him. Okay. Does it plays it away from the Mistral Guide? I mean, it means that it can't fly now. I guess he's not really worried about that since he has lands to walk on. But the flying is quite convenient if he decides to want to if he decides to double collect. Yeah. So I mean, home plate. I think it still has a bit of advantage. It has 7 fairy. Can you can play Living Willow. You can play. You can try and find something from the Seek as well. So still got a lot of defensive options, but he's not dominating like he did with the previous game against the Rush. Okay, decides to play the Ground Shaker out just so he can kill this double collector. Plays him on the same side as well. So I think yeah, he wants to just kind of control this right side here, just so that like nothing is able to collect. But here with the Manta Rider, if he does trade this Manta Rider, he does have a little Manta inside to collect for him next turn, so it's a pretty good card in that sense. Also leaves the Ground Shaker on 1. And I think that's kind of the thing playing against this deck, is that you always have to kind of bear in mind the Baron Sky Vulture. It's not the fact that you're trying to get every creature to not be on 1 health, it's that the big creatures that you want, the ones with high attack, you don't want to be on 1 health. So usually Ground Shaker is a great card against yellow because it has the beefy 6 health. But when you're running Baron Sky Vulture, it can become actually a little bit of a problem. And sometimes you don't actually want to trade. Okay, home plate. Getting some fairy here. Trying to find an answer. Oh, he finds Salamander. That allows him to make the trade. And it clears. And it takes Ground Shaker out of the 1 HP range so that he can't get vultured. Crazy. Monstrosity coming out a bit too late now. Doesn't really have anything on board to utilize it with. Okay, so home plate Taking the Seek Shelter up, what does he get? He gets the Grim Guard. He's liking the Grim Guard here. Bit cheaper than the Grove Guardian, so I think he's more worried about the taunt than the damage. So in that case, he goes for the Grim Guard. Does also do a little bit of burn. Stops that little pesky blowfly. Soul Drain, getting that Ground Shaker down to 1 again. So the Baron Sky Vulture does end up getting 7 damage again, which is great for his monstrosity as well. So see what he wants to do with that. Emissary can come out as well if he wants to play Baron Sky Vulture and Emissary. Not really a lot of places he can place it though. Yeah, I guess over there is fine. Can clear the Ground Shaker anyway with the Vulture, and does block the Salamander. Goes for 1 hit on the Grimguard. I think he kind of knows that he needs to clear that, so he needs to get the first hit in. He's gonna have to take 3 hits for that guy to go down. Reveler. Oh, pardon me. Reveler here. Crazy with the Maginata. He can't play it this turn, but he could play the Reveler now maybe. Hopefully, like kind of hoping he doesn't get doesn't get traded by the Emissary through movement or something like that. Or he can just wait. He has a Willow to play as well, so there's no rush in playing the Reveler if he's thinking about collecting as well. Soul Drain going definitely going on the Reveler. I mean, whatever you do, you don't want that guy to get any more attack than he already has. Even using Soul Drain on a Reveler is like minus Farrier, so. Okay, so home plate here is kind of being suffocated out. But he does have Maginata. So the Reveler did die, so he's not really going to get the Fairy value from Maginata. So that's why I kind of like the Living Willow first. The Seek Shelter coming out again. Trying to find another creature. Grimguard could be an option again. Goes for the Dreamkeeper though. He wants the Farrier from it. He does kind of want to draw more cards though if he wants to do that. Okay. So that's kind of okay now. You'd think it's like playing the inferior, playing it for 0 Farrier, but obviously because the cards get shuffled around, it's a lot less value than the fairy that you're saving. Sacrifice a lot of tempo. Unless the cards in your hand is something you don't want and you want something else, then it can be kind of cool. By the way, I do have the stream up on a second screen, so I do know what you guys are saying when you are talking about specific things. Okay, so yeah, I mean, home plate doesn't look like he's in a very good position. I'm gonna say now that he's not in a good position. But the second monstrosity down, they're both still at 0 health. I mean, 0 attack. Imagine that's coming back into hand. Could do something here maybe with the Dreamkeeper. But now there's two monstrosities on board. It's kind of awkward to start clearing everything now. Especially when there's two. When there's one, it can be okay, as long as it doesn't get to like 20 damage, obviously. But two can be kind of like exponentially bad, worse, we say. Gyarados coming out. Huge. Clears two, but leaves a monstrosity on board. They are at 3 health, so they're a little bit easier to clear now, but still, I don't know. I think it wasn't really the play because that Gyarados is going to be traded now with that monstrosity, and then this. I'm just thinking if this could be lethal. Not yet, but with the Wind Soldier, if oh no, no, it can't be lethal. Yeah, I was gonna say if that Dreamkeeper wasn't there, then it's lethal. Oh no, it's lethal. It's lethal. Sorry, I completely forgot about that. Oh no, it's not because he used the Flash Wind to clear it. I think he shouldn't have used the Flash Wind to clear it. He should have held it in hand. Okay, never mind. So, what can be done now? Okay. Third monstrosity coming down. I think that's probably the play. Setting up for lethal. He's going to definitely put Wood Elemental down or something. He needs to put it here. But he's probably... Well, he's only got... He should be thinking he doesn't have Flash Wind. He needs to put it here. Because if he puts it here, then this monstrosity will trade with it. And then that's GG. So now it's 2-2. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough. It's I think the monstrosity is pretty tough to play around. You kind of need to hoard your taunts at your face and then use the other cards to do the fighting. But it's definitely possible. It's not like an impossible matchup. Alright, so BAMSER is going to take a small break here, as usual. See how the other... Can we see how the other bracket is doing? Well, we should probably, yeah, see how the other bracket's doing. We've got Kilt versus Eru. Seems like that's still going on, so we're... Oh. Okay. I mean, it's the last deck for both of them, so we are going to see who is the winner of this set. BAMSER versus Homeplate Game 5 match point. Approximately 15 minutes on the clock each. BAMSER actually leading by 2 minutes. This is incredible. Usually BAMSER would be on like 5 minutes by now. And BAMSER starting off with the explore into desert. I think he wants to get into the wells as quick as possible. He doesn't have a Mistral Guide. Going second with Mistral Guide is without Mistral Guide is going to be tough. Homeplate running the Swarm. The Swarm is pretty good actually. It does reach a lot of the yellow cards. Has ways to transform the monstrosities as well. So like even if you have multiple on board, you can transform them without, so it doesn't transfer the damage. So it looks like BAMSER wants to play this monstrosity just so he can collect. I think it's okay. But he decides not to. Manta Ride is probably a little bit better. Okay, focus on the game, BAMSER, come on. Yeah, putting Manta Rider out is a bit better. Got a Mistral Guide coming out. So okay, so not bad. We can make some plays here with the Mistral Guide. Okay, playing it separately. So Mistral Guy going to be on the left side here, out of danger. Whilst the Manta Rider is going to be the one fighting here. I mean, the 5-3 start is kind of great against these Battletoads. Lets him hit twice, and then also have a Manta after that as well to double collect. Homeplate got getting a collection of Mantas though. Probably wants to start playing them as well. So yeah, a lot of cards going on board right now. Should be okay. So I think BAMSER here is trying to just find some as many value trades as he can. There's not really much you can do in terms of like sneaking away around these guys to hit face, especially since he doesn't have a monstrosity that's high enough yet. So I mean, the idea is just going to have monstrosity on board and then trying to find some value trades until the monstrosity is high enough to kill. A lot of these 2-cost creatures are going to be great against the vulture because they're usually going to die before they can get vultured, so they can't really be soul drained like a free health creature and then vultured. So we're going to start with the trading early, especially with the Mistral Guide as well. So that's quite an interesting choice of trading. Does deny the Farrier collection on the left side here. So Homeplate's only really collecting from one well this turn. I mean, he could trade with the other Manta and then go for the collection. Does have a lot of Farrier, doesn't really need to do that at the moment. It does make some space for the Battletoads. Okay, so Manta has managed to make his way onto the desert and create a lake. Now, with the Mistral Guy being gone, this monstrosity is kind of in a really bad situation right now to be played, and therefore can't be played. BAMSER here is going to have to try and find some sort of out here. Decides to trade the Manta, and I guess he's going to trade. I don't think he wants to trade the Fanatic though. Without this Mistral Guide, he's kind of really, I don't know why he traded the Mistral Guide, because without the Mistral Guide, he's kind of behind. He doesn't have like the movement that he usually has, especially with these demons. These demons should be kind of right up in their face, you know. So for me, it's quite strange that he used the Mistral Guide to trade. Because now, if he wants these demons to do anything, he's going to have to build lands. It's like kind of the last thing you want to do with this deck. After you've made the first 3 lands, or the 4th land for the vulture, you're not really looking to to make any more. And Homeplate's doing a very good job of securing his own lands. It's like he's not letting them. He's not letting them be overtaken or captured, I guess.
Only the beginning.
Okay, so Fuguro is coming out. Earn to draw. Gives him the land to, I mean, possibly play Fugu, but obviously he doesn't have the ferry at the moment. But next turn, it's going to give him more flexibility. He's going to be able to draw next turn instead of having to play that that 8th land. Okay, so what's going on here? Is this Shaitan Monstrosity ever going to come down? I mean, the good thing about the aggressive lands is that BAMSER can start getting his bloatflies out. Okay, the training on the demon kind of clears. Only a little bit though, not too much. Easily traded. But I think it's now time to put the monstrosity out. Come on. Okay, Bloatfly, he kind of wants to prioritize more. The vulture is on. It's highlighted. It means that he can actually use the demon to steal the attack from. So yeah, the Fugu comes down. But it doesn't look too good for BAMSER. He's kind of in a rough spot. I mean, the Bloatfly can duplicate, but is it going to be enough? Is that going to be enough for the overwhelming swarm that is Homeplate? Okay, so what's going on? Okay, so we got another. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to reply to chat as well. Like 10 minutes in the past, so we've got yeah, the Bloatfly coming out again. Oh, BAMSER is on 9 health. Battletoads is also, yeah. So Homeplate is going to be taking out his creatures so that Istanu is going to be active next turn. Unfortunately, no failed experiment right now, so he's not going to be active, like active, but he's going to be on board at least. So yeah, we got the Fugu up at his face. Can get traded if he wants to. But I think the Vulture is it's time for the Vulture to come out right now, right? Vulture is gonna be at 5-3. Pretty scary. Pardon me. Probably play on the left side because if it goes on the right here, it's gonna get traded with the Water Elemental. Okay. Decides to play it on the right anyway with a emissary here. So he's gonna double up on the defense. He's gonna be open for another 2 attack, but I think it should be okay. He is steadily stabilizing with these bloat flies. But what does home plate want to do? What does home plate want to do? He's stepping back. I think he realizes he needs the creatures more now. Now that he has a Stanu to play. Okay, trades with Elemental, but does get a Stanu out. It's kind of important that he keeps his creatures alive now. Fortunately for home plate, there's no removal really for these guys. I mean, a soldier is coming out, but it's only on 1 creature, so we're kind of good here. Okay, so bloat flies are coming out, so he's got his own little swarm going on. So it's swarm versus swarm, and BAMSER's swarm is a bit stronger because it's a 3 attack, 3 health, and it's the same amount of area. Okay. Wind Soldier is coming out. Claims it was a mistake, but that's just how the world works. Yeah, I mean, I think he realized that he can't clear all of them, so it's kind of a mistake that he did that. I mean, that was probably still the best play he could have made. Stopping the double collection. Okay, so Homeplate's going to be able to rebuild his army here. Fugu's coming out, but it's not going to be able to be. It's not going to be cleared very easily. So I think that's why he's so confident playing it so far forward. BAMSER's still sitting on 2 monstrosities here. It's not really what he wants. He kind of needs these to come out like right now. But I think he wants to keep the bloat flies going. Not a great place. I thought he would have just put it back on the left side. Here it can be kind of blocked, right? But here is a lot harder since there's 2 lands he can walk on. So like anything like even like the Twin Soul. I mean the Twin Soul Spirit is coming down anyway, but still. Yeah, I think BAMSER is kind of tight right now. The Bloatfly corruption isn't gonna really save him. And the 3 monstrosities in his hand aren't really doing anything for him right now. Mistral Guide, a little bit too late. Is that his 2nd Mistral Guide of the game? Can't remember. I think it is his 2nd Mistral Guide. Anyways. BAMSER, just focus on the goddamn game. Okay, yeah. So we have game 5 going to home plate. Congratulations. Moves on to the finals. Who is he facing? We didn't even find out who